Admiral Jeho Park stood at the main window of the Korean Space Defense Command Center. The stars looked peaceful, but he knew that would soon change. His gray uniform was perfectly pressed, showing his 30 years of military service in its medals and ribbons. The quiet morning changed when all the screens in the command center started flashing red. A young officer ran to the admiral's side, holding a data tablet that showed strange signals coming from beyond Pluto's orbit. "Sir, we're picking up multiple large objects entering the solar system," the officer said, his voice shaking slightly. Admiral Park took the tablet and looked at it carefully. The objects were moving in a perfect formation. This was not a natural event. This was first contact, and it was happening exactly as they had predicted it would. He pressed a button on his command console. "This is Admiral Park. All stations go to Alert Level 1. This is not a drill. I repeat, this is not a drill." The command center burst into action. Officers moved quickly between stations, and the main screen showed Earth's defense fleet getting ready. These were the smaller ships, the ones they wanted the aliens to see. A message came through on all channels. The voice speaking was deep and had a mechanical sound to it. "This is High Commander Vex of the Nexus Alliance. We have come to add Earth to our great empire. Your planet's technology is primitive. Surrender now, and we will be kind rulers." Admiral Park looked at the main screen. The alien ships were now visible, huge vessels that shone like silver in the sunlight. They were impressive, but Park knew something the aliens didn't. He pressed another button, opening a secure channel to a hidden base on Mars. "Captain Du Yun, start warming up the Eclipse's engines, but keep her hidden for now. Let's see what our visitors do first." The alien ships moved closer to Earth. Their weapons were clearly visible, energy cannons that glowed with purple light. High Commander Vex spoke again. "Your ships are small and weak. They use simple fusion drives. We have been watching you. You cannot hope to fight us." Admiral Park smiled slightly. The aliens had been watching them, yes, but they had only seen what Earth wanted them to see. He called Captain Sun Lee, who commanded one of the scout ships. "Captain Lee, take your ship out to meet them. Show them our basic technology. Let them think they know everything about us." Sun Li's small fleet moved forward. Her ships looked plain and simple compared to the gleaming alien vessels. The Nexus Alliance ships moved closer, probably scanning Earth's fleet with their advanced sensors. "Admiral," Sun Li reported, "they're laughing at our ships. Their crews are sending messages making fun of our primitive technology. They think this is all we have." Park nodded. Everything was going according to plan. The aliens were falling into humanity's carefully laid trap. They thought they were dealing with a simple, young species that had just reached space. They had no idea about Project Eclipse, the massive ship hidden in Mars' shadow, with technology that would shock them. "Let them laugh," Park said quietly. "They won't be laughing much longer." He looked at the tactical display showing the positions of all the ships. The aliens had arranged their fleet exactly where Earth's strategists had predicted they would. In a few hours, the Nexus Alliance would learn a valuable lesson about judging others by appearances. But for now, Admiral Park would let them think they had the upper hand. Sometimes, the best strategy was to let your opponent underestimate you. He watched as more alien ships appeared. They were putting on an impressive show of force. But Earth had been preparing for this day for years. The real show hadn't even started yet. Captain Sun Li sat in her command chair aboard the KSS Horizon. Her ship looked simple and small compared to the massive alien vessels surrounding it. That was exactly how it was supposed to look. The main screen showed High Commander Vex's face for the first time. The alien leader had blue-gray skin and 3 pairs of eyes arranged in a triangle. His expression showed nothing but contempt for the humans. "Your vessel's design is most quaint," Vex said, his voice filled with mock politeness. "Tell me, Captain, do you still use nuclear fusion for power? How charmingly outdated." Sun Li kept her face calm and professional. Yes, High Commander. We find fusion power meets our modest needs. She could hear the aliens laughing in the background of Vex's transmission. Meanwhile, deep under the surface of Mars, Lieutenant Ta-Won Kim was hard at work. The real pride of Earth's fleet, Project Eclipse, hummed with power around him. He checked the quantum displacement drive's readings one more time. Everything was perfect, just as it had been for the past 3 years while they waited. Status report, came Admiral Park's voice through Taiwan's secure communicator. All systems are ready, sir, Taiwan replied quietly. The aliens still can't detect us. Their scans keep bouncing off our quantum shields. They think they're just getting readings from normal Martian rocks. Back on the KSS horizon, Sun Mai was giving the aliens a tour of her ship. She showed them the basic fusion reactors, the simple navigation systems, and the outdated weapons. With each stop, the alien observers became more confident in their superiority. Your weapons can't even pierce our weakest shields, one alien officer said, not bothering to hide his amusement. It's like comparing a stone axe to a laser rifle. Sun Li bowed her head respectfully. We are a young species, still learning, she said. Inside, she smiled at how easily they were falling for the act. On Mars, Chief Engineer He-Jin Cho was running final checks on the Eclipse's main systems. The massive ship was the product of 50 years of secret human technological development. While the world showed one face to the galaxy, showing off primitive fusion drives and basic weapons, the real work had happened in hidden bases across the solar system. He-Jin walked through the Eclipse's engine room. The quantum displacement drive took up 3 decks of space. It could move the huge ship instantly across vast distances by bending space itself. The aliens thought humans were still playing with simple fusion drives, but they would soon learn how wrong they were. Engineering report. Admiral Park's voice came through again. All systems are green. He-Jin responded. The quantum core is stable. Weapon systems are charged. Shield matrices are at full power. We can reveal ourselves whenever you give the order. Back in space, the alien ships had surrounded Earth's visible fleet. More Nexus Alliance vessels arrived every hour, their crews confident they were facing an easy conquest. Sun Mi finished her tour and returned to her bridge. They suspect nothing, she reported to Admiral Park. They think they've seen all of our technology. High Commander Vex is already planning how they'll divide Earth's resources among their empire. Admiral Park's voice was calm but firm. Good. Let them think that for now. The Eclipse is ready. When they make their move, we'll show them what humanity is really capable of. Sometimes the best way to win a fight is to let your opponent think they've already won. The alien ships continued to gather, their crews celebrating their easy victory in advance. None of them noticed the slight distortion in space near Mars, where humanity's greatest achievement waited silently for its moment to change everything. Admiral Park watched the tactical display in the Korean Space Defense Command Center. Operation Scattered Stars was working perfectly. Earth's smaller ships moved in careful patterns, looking disorganized to untrained eyes. But each movement was planned months in advance. Move Defense Group 3 to Sector 7, he ordered. Make it look like they're having engine troubles. The ships followed his commands, their engines giving off extra heat to appear inefficient. The Nexus Alliance vessels followed them like predators stalking weak prey. In the hidden base on Mars, Chief Engineer He-Jin Cho worked on the Eclipse's quantum displacement drive. The massive engine took up several floors of the ship, its core glowing with blue-white energy. He adjusted the final settings with careful precision. How are the calibrations coming along? Commander Du Yun Kang asked, entering the engine room. He-Jin looked up from his work. Almost perfect, sir. The quantum field is stable. When we activate it, we'll be able to appear anywhere in the solar system in seconds. The aliens won't know what hit them. Above Mars, the Nexus Alliance ships continued their show of force. They fired practice shots into empty space, their weapons creating beautiful but threatening light shows. High Commander Vex sent regular messages to Earth, each one more demanding than the last. Your pathetic fleet cannot protect you, his latest message declared. Look at how weak your ships are. Their engines waste energy. Their weapons are toys compared to ours. Surrender now, and we will be merciful. Admiral Park sent another message to Captain Sun Mi Lee on the KSS Horizon. Keep their attention focused on your ship's problems. Make them think we're struggling just to keep our engines running. Sun Mi's crew played their parts perfectly. They let their ship drift slightly off course, as if they couldn't maintain proper control. The alien observers took dozens of scans, recording what they thought were design flaws, but were actually careful deceptions. Lieutenant Ta Won Kim monitored the alien scans from his station aboard the Eclipse. They're completely fooled, sir, he reported to Commander Du Yun. Their scans show exactly what we want them to see. They think they're dealing with a primitive species that barely understands space travel. The commander nodded with satisfaction. And our quantum shield? They still can't detect us. No, sir, Ta Won replied. To their instruments, we're just part of Mars. They've scanned this area 12 times, and all they see is normal rock. In the command center, Admiral Park received a secure message from Heijin. Final calibrations are complete, sir. The Eclipse is ready to move whenever you give the order. Park looked at the tactical display again. Nearly 300 Nexus Alliance ships now surrounded Earth's small fleet. They had positioned themselves exactly where Earth's strategists had predicted they would, following patterns of behavior studied from other worlds they had conquered. Let them think they have us figured out, Park said to his officers. Let them think they know all our capabilities. Their arrogance will be their downfall. The alien ships moved closer to Earth with each passing hour. Their crews sent messages mocking the humans' technology, treating Earth's fleet like children's toys. None of them noticed how Earth's ships were slowly guiding them into a perfect trap formation. High Commander Vex's voice boomed through the command center again. We grow tired of waiting. You have one Earth day to surrender, or we will show you what real space warfare looks like. Admiral Park allowed himself a small smile. One day will be more than enough time, he said quietly. Soon, the Nexus Alliance would learn that appearances could be very deceiving indeed. High Commander Vex's patience had run out. The alien leader ordered his fleet to attack Earth's defenses. 300 massive ships moved forward, their weapons charging with purple energy. The aliens expected an easy victory. They were wrong. Captain Sun Mi Lee stood on the bridge of the KSS Horizon. All ships, execute Defense Pattern Alpha, she ordered. Her voice was calm despite the danger. Earth's smaller ships moved into what looked like a desperate formation. The first alien shots fired across space. Purple energy beams lit up the darkness. Earth's ships moved exactly as planned, appearing to barely dodge the attacks. Some ships let their outer armor take minor hits, showing fake damage to feed the aliens' confidence. Look at them scatter. Vex's voice boomed across all channels. They can barely keep their ships together. This will be even easier than we thought. The alien crews laughed as they watched Earth's fleet seemingly struggle to maintain formation. But in the Korean Space Defense Command Center, Admiral Park saw everything going according to plan. The alien fleet had moved into the perfect position. Their large ships now formed a wide circle around Earth's defenders, exactly where humans wanted them. Captain Lee, Park called through the secure channel. Status report. The aliens are following our movements perfectly, sir, Sun Mi replied. They think they're herding us into a trap, but they're the ones being positioned. Her ship shuddered as it took another glancing hit, its outer armor showing precisely calculated damage. Lieutenant Ta Won Kim watched from his station aboard the hidden Eclipse. The massive ship's sensors showed everything happening in space above. They've moved into final attack position, he reported to Commander Du Yun. Every alien ship is exactly where we predicted they would be. The Nexus Alliance ships pressed their attack. More energy beams crossed space. Earth's fleet continued its carefully planned retreat, drawing the aliens closer with each passing minute. The alien crews grew more confident with each shot, certain of their victory. "Your pathetic defenses are falling apart," Vex announced. "Surrender now, and we may spare your major cities." His ships moved forward again, their weapons charging for what they thought would be the final attack. Admiral Park checked the tactical display one last time. The alien fleet had formed a perfect ring around Earth's defenders. Now they were trapped in their own attack formation, though they didn't know it yet. "Captain Lee," Park called. "Begin Phase 2. Sun Li's voice was steady as she gave the order. "All ships, execute Maneuver Omega." The Earth fleet suddenly moved with perfect precision, their previous clumsy movements forgotten. Each ship took its exact planned position in the defensive formation. The alien crews noticed the change too late. "What's happening?" Vex demanded. "Their ships. They're moving differently now." Park pressed a button on his command console, opening a channel to Mars. "Commander Du Yun, the stage is set. Prepare the Eclipse for emergence. Let's show our visitors what humanity is really capable of." Deep within Mars' shadow, the massive Earth ship hummed with power. Its quantum displacement drive began to spin up, preparing to reveal humanity's true technological might. The aliens had started this fight thinking they faced a primitive species. They were about to learn how wrong they were. Commander Du Yun Kang stood on the bridge of the Eclipse, watching his crew prepare for their big moment. The massive ship had waited 3 years in its hidden dock on Mars for this exact day. Now it was time to show the galaxy what humanity could really do. "Start the quantum displacement sequence," Du Yun ordered. The huge engine deep within the ship began to hum louder. Blue light pulsed through the vessel's quantum core as Chief Engineer He Jin monitored the power readings. "Quantum field is stable," He Jin reported from engineering. "All systems are ready for emergence." His fingers moved quickly across the control panels, making final adjustments to the revolutionary engine that would shock the alien fleet. In space above Earth, the Nexus Alliance ships continued their attack. They still thought they were winning, still believed they faced a primitive species. High Commander Vex watched with satisfaction as his fleet pressed what he thought was their advantage. "Your defeat is certain," Vex announced to Earth's defenders. "Your ships cannot even scratch our shields. This is the price of your resistance." Admiral Park's voice came through on the Eclipse's command channel. "Commander Du Yun, you have permission to proceed. Show them what humanity has been hiding." Du Yun nodded to his crew. "Activate quantum displacement drive. Target coordinates locked on Sector 7, right in the middle of their fleet." The Eclipse's engines flashed with brilliant blue-white light. The massive ship began to fade from its hiding place behind Mars. In less than a second, space itself bent around the vessel. When it reappeared, it was directly in the center of the alien fleet. The Nexus Alliance ships fell silent. The Eclipse dwarfed their largest vessels. Its smooth black hull absorbed their sensor scans. Bands of blue energy pulsed along its length, showing power readings that made the alien sensors short out. What is this?" Vex's voice had lost all its previous confidence. "Where did that ship come from?" "Quantum shields at full power," Lieutenant Ta-1 reported from his station. "Their weapons cannot harm us. Our systems are reading as completely unknown to their sensors." The Eclipse was truly a sight to behold. It stretched 20 kilometers from bow to stern, its design unlike anything the aliens had ever seen. Where their ships were flashy and decorated, the Eclipse was sleek and practical. Its hull contained technology that humanity had kept hidden for decades. "This is Commander Du Yun Kang of the Earth Defense Ship Eclipse," Du Yun announced to the alien fleet. Perhaps now would be a good time to discuss more favorable terms for peaceful cooperation. The alien ships tried to back away, but it was too late. The Eclipse had appeared in the perfect position, just as planned. Its presence alone had trapped the Nexus Alliance fleet in their own attack formation. Admiral Park's voice came across all channels. "High Commander Vex, I believe you were saying something about primitive technology. Please, Allow us to demonstrate what humanity is truly capable of. The Eclipse's weapons powered up, their targeting systems far more advanced than anything the aliens possessed. Humanity had planned this moment carefully, waiting for the right time to reveal their true strength. That time had finally come. Lieutenant Ta-Won Kim sat at his weapons control station aboard the Eclipse, watching the alien fleet's confusion with quiet satisfaction. The massive human ship had changed everything in just a few moments. Now it was time to demonstrate exactly what Earth's hidden technology could do. Their ships are trying to lock weapons on us, Ta-Won reported to Commander Du-Yun. But our phase-shifted shields are making it impossible for them to get a clear target. The Nexus Alliance vessels fired their energy weapons at the Eclipse. The purple beams simply passed through empty space where the ship appeared to be. The Eclipse's quantum technology allowed it to exist slightly out of phase with normal spacetime, making it nearly impossible to hit. Impossible. High Commander Vex's voice shook with anger and fear. No species at your level of development should have this technology. You were using simple fusion drives just hours ago. Chief Engineer He Jin's voice came through the Eclipse's internal communications. All systems are functioning perfectly, Commander. The quantum core is stable, and the gravity manipulation systems are ready. Commander Du-Yun gave the order. Show them what else we can do, Lieutenant. Target their lead ship with the gravity lance. Ta-Won activated the Eclipse's main weapon. A beam of concentrated gravitational force shot out from the human ship. When it hit the alien vessel, it didn't need to pierce any shields. The gravity weapon simply compressed the space around the target ship, crushing it to half its original size. The alien fleet watched in horror as one of their most powerful ships was crushed like a paper ball. Their sensors couldn't even detect how the weapon worked. Earth had developed technology that operated on principles the Nexus Alliance had never even considered. How is this possible? Vex demanded. Your species was supposed to be primitive. Admiral Park's calm voice responded from the Korean Space Defense Command. You saw what we wanted you to see, Commander Vex. Humanity learned long ago that it's sometimes wise to keep our true capabilities hidden. The Eclipse moved through space with impossible grace for a ship of its size. Its quantum-entangled targeting systems allowed it to fire with perfect accuracy, disabling alien ships without destroying them. Each shot demonstrated more advanced technology that the aliens had thought impossible for humans to achieve. Captain Sun Mei watched from the KSS horizon as the massive human ship protected Earth's fleet. Their crews are panicking, she reported. Some ships are trying to flee, but they're trapped by their own attack formation. Commander Du-Yun stood on the Eclipse's bridge, watching the alien fleet's confusion. Signal all ships, he ordered. Disable their engines but avoid casualties. We want to teach them a lesson, not start a war. The Eclipse's weapons fired again and again. Each shot was precisely calculated to disable but not destroy. The alien crews watched helplessly as their primitive opponents demonstrated complete control over gravity, space, and time itself. Perhaps now would be a good time to discuss peace terms, Admiral Park suggested to the alien commander. Unless you'd like another demonstration of our primitive technology. The Nexus Alliance fleet had gone from confident attackers to trapped prey in less than an hour. Earth had revealed itself as far more advanced than anyone had imagined, and the galaxy would never be the same. Admiral Park stood in the conference room of the Korean Space Defense Command Center. The large display screens showed the disabled Nexus Alliance fleet floating harmlessly in space. The Eclipse maintained its position at the center of the formation, its quantum shields still active. Now that we have your attention, Park said to High Commander Vex, allow me to explain a few things about humanity. His voice was calm and professional, showing neither anger nor pride. The alien commander's image appeared on the main screen. Vex's 3 pairs of eyes showed a mixture of fear and confusion. His earlier arrogance had vanished completely. How long have you had this technology? He asked quietly. We detected your first scout ships entering our solar system 5 years ago, Park explained. But we had already developed the Eclipse and its technology long before that. We simply chose to keep it hidden. Captain Sun Mi Lee's voice joined the conversation from the KSS horizon. Every time you scanned our ships, you found exactly what we wanted you to find. The primitive fusion drives, the basic weapons, all of it was carefully designed to make you underestimate us. In the Eclipse's engine room, Chief Engineer He Jin worked with his team to maintain the quantum displacement field. The massive ship's advanced systems hummed with power, each one representing decades of secret human development. Your sensors showed you what looked like waste energy from our engines. He Jin explained to the alien engineers who were now listening with great interest. In reality, those energy signatures were carefully crafted patterns designed to hide our true capabilities. Lieutenant Ta Won Kim displayed the targeting data from the Eclipse's weapon systems. The alien tactical officers watched in amazement as he showed them how the gravity manipulation weapons worked. Their own sensors had completely failed to understand the technology. We knew some species might try to conquer Earth if they thought we were weak, Commander Du Yun explained from the Eclipse's bridge. So we developed two parallel space programs, one public, using basic technology that we showed to the galaxy, and one secret, pushing the boundaries of what was thought possible. Admiral Park activated a holographic display showing the full extent of Earth's hidden technological achievements. The Nexus Alliance officers saw quantum engines that could bend space, shields that could phase matter between dimensions, and weapons that could control gravity itself. We watched how your alliance treated other developing civilizations, Park continued. We saw how you conquered those who seemed weak and only respected those with power. So we waited and watched, letting you believe we were an easy target. High Commander Vex listened silently as the humans explained how they had monitored the Nexus Alliance for years, studying their tactics and preparing countermeasures for every weapon and strategy the aliens had. Your civilization is far more advanced than we believed possible, Vex admitted finally. The Nexus Alliance has never encountered a species that managed to hide its true capabilities so effectively. Perhaps that is why we succeeded, Park responded. Because we understood something you did not. True strength lies not just in having power, but in knowing when and how to reveal it. High Commander Vex stood in the main conference room of the Korean Space Defense Command Center. It had been 3 days since the eclipse revealed humanity's true power. Now he faced Admiral Park across a polished table to discuss peace terms. The Nexus Alliance has never experienced such a complete diplomatic reversal, Vex admitted. His 3 pairs of eyes looked down at the table. We came here expecting to find a primitive species ready for conquest. Instead, we found equals who had outsmarted us completely. Admiral Park nodded respectfully. Sometimes the best way to prevent a war is to make sure it never starts. We knew that showing our full capabilities from the beginning would have led to conflict, so we chose a different path. Commander Du Yun Kang joined them from the Eclipse, which still maintained its position among the alien fleet. The massive ship's presence served as a constant reminder of humanity's hidden strength. Your quantum displacement technology alone is beyond anything our scientists thought possible, Vex said to Du Yun. And your gravity manipulation weapons, they operate on principles we never even considered. Chief Engineer He Jin entered the room carrying technical documents. The Nexus Alliance had agreed to a fair exchange of scientific knowledge as part of the peace agreement. Both sides would benefit from sharing their discoveries. We have much to learn from each other, He Jin said as he spread the documents on the table. Your shield technology follows a different path than ours. Together, we might develop protection systems beyond what either of us could create alone. Captain Sun Mi arrived from the KSS Horizon. She had played a crucial role in deceiving the alien fleet, and now she would help build bridges between the two civilizations. The smaller ships of our fleet may have seemed primitive, she explained, but they taught us an important lesson. True strength isn't always about showing your power. Sometimes it's about knowing when to appear weak. Lieutenant Ta Won Kim demonstrated some of the Eclipse's defensive systems to the alien technical team. The Nexus Alliance officers watched with great interest as he showed how the quantum shields could phase matter between dimensions. Your deception was complete, Vex acknowledged. Every scan we made, every observation we recorded, showed us exactly what you wanted us to see. We never suspected the truth until it was too late. Admiral Park stood and walked to the window. Earth was visible in the distance, peaceful and blue. Now we have a choice, he said. We can maintain the distrust that brought your fleet here, or we can build something better together. Vex joined him at the window. The Nexus Alliance has always valued strength, he said thoughtfully. But perhaps we need to redefine what strength means. Your species showed us that wisdom and patience can be more powerful than any weapon. The peace treaty was signed that afternoon. Earth would join the galactic community, but on its own terms. The Nexus Alliance had learned valuable lessons about judging other species, and humanity had proved that appearances could be deceiving. As the alien fleet prepared to depart, now as allies instead of invaders, Admiral Park watched from his command center. The Eclipse had returned to its hidden dock on Mars, ready if ever needed again. But he hoped that day would never come. Sometimes the greatest victory was the war that never had to be fought.